Good morning and welcome to Clarity's podcast, process podcast.
Yeah.
It's July 1st, Rabbit, 2026. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, but we have been a wee bit busy. And of course, I'm sure you all have been too, so thank you for listening in. It's nice early morning, 6:41, out here on the boardwalk.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The sun's already come up, but it's almost like a cloud mist
Yeah.
over the water.
Bit foggy, I suppose.
But I can still see all the boats that are parked here up next to the harbor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
and they have a new slip system for the boats here in the harbor that we saw them talk about process. We saw them beginning to put the big tall pylons in several months ago, and then to come back and see it all finished up and looking very, very professional, very lively. So
Yeah.
our harbor is growing up a little bit more. As we said, it's like this is the time of the reset, so they're being a part of that too, I suppose.
Yeah. A lot of the slips have been redone,
Mm-hmm.
and there's definitely a reset in the harbor.
Yeah. So for us and for you, it's time for everyone to slip into the new reset and become part of something that is more purposeful, more intentional, more more to your, I guess, bigger picture, greater purpose feeling
Yeah.
of what you're doing, why you're here, how you can contribute to the growing of yourself and helping support other people on that same kind of journey. Let's see. So today we've seen the dogs out and about being walked. They've been walking their pets and making sure they get some exercise, stretch their legs.
We walked our creative self.
Have you noticed that the earlier you're out here for a walk, most people say hi, where later on, good morning. They're so, well, hello. They're so busy that they just kind of zip on past. So it's a different set of people out early, isn't it? That's why you like being out here early.
I love being out here early.
Yeah, there went some runners past. So July, here we are. We made it to July.
And I think in a reset, there's a real registry. You have to register what is. And then in order to know what you want to reset and in what way you want to do that. And so since January, there's a lot of clearing out of the old and registries of that. And then now doing a reset. And in that reset is registering what has the people in your lives. You know, we go up and down, we love them, we leave them, we love them again. It's like that's all part of resets. But in order to really reset, you have to know why they are in your lives. And there maybe often a lot of reasons they're in your lives that you've forgotten. And that they become like, everyday trite. But in actuality, they are what's holding you up in many different ways. And reset is a time to not just change, but it is to register what is. Because you can't change until you know what is.
Yeah, and I think that, good morning. Fine. And I think that also it's a matter of, you're talking about reset and knowing where you are, the purpose of the people that are around you. And you hear all the time the stories of, I was born into the wrong family, or, I'm the odd one out in my family, or all those kinds of things. But the purpose of the family that you were born into, that you're there with, is that very fact. That's what it took for you to be born here, to be born into this this dimensional space. It took those people for you to be here. So even though there are times where, like, there are all kinds of dynamics, because there's a bazillion movies made on family dynamics that are good, bad, and ugly. But the purpose of it was to get you here. So that's that part. And
Give
then
you the
as you,
strengths you now have.
yeah, and then as you grow up and you have your own family, or you collect and gather together a group of friends or whatever that become your, what they call not blood family, but a lot of times it's even thicker than your original family. But the purpose of it, why that? Why did you choose to
A
change?
lot of times
Why did you choose to be with
in a family,
other
if you
people?
changed dramatically from the family you grew up with, and that family was part of the particle awareness of that change, sometimes it gets woven in so much that you forget how that now family has helped you become a different kind of part of a family in the world. And there is not, when you choose a new family, there's not always the acceptance of what you thought you were, or who you thought you were. And I find that when you become an intentional family, well, you never stop changing, but you can never forget who in that family was there to help you become who you are now. Because, see, when a family of people are changing together, there's a lot of things that couldn't be done without the support of another.
Good morning.
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 Thank you.
Got his bed walking with him.
Lightning, come here. Come on, Lightning.
We have wonderful dogs that come by.
That was funny. His second dog, he looked like they were twins practically. They're bigger, older dogs. And the second one was walking much, much slower than the first, and his name was Lightning.
And he had a wagon that the owner was pulling that had a dog pillow in it, and it had a bungee cord to strap it down. So evidently it's for that dog who gets too tired as they're walking.
Yeah, then he at least gets to be out and about.
I've never seen that before.
So isn't that the way of things, that there are times where when you are in the process of changing, or people around you are in the process of changing, and sometimes it just looks absolutely grand and glorious and blissful and just stellar. And then there are those other times where
when somebody has to pull the wagon with the bed in it so you can lay down but still be out.
I know. It's like, help me here.
I know. I feel like we're doing that right now.
Yeah. Oops,
What was that?
That was my keys falling off my lap onto the deck. There we go.
Because
Little
as we
sound
begin
effect.
to register the next whole level of who we are and who we are becoming, and who we are absolutely working with to actually create the next level of change, there's a real registry of their oddness, and also the value of their oddness. And sometimes we get in each other's way.
Yeah.
And then we become unaware of their presence on the path. And then all at once, we bump into each other, and it's startling. It's startling that they're on that path in our way. And sometimes we so much have forgotten that they are in the vicinity, not just coming across the path, but they're actually in the vicinity, in the neighborhood. And they actually cross through, and they scare you because you think you had a clear path, and you're counting on that clear path because you're doing something more complex than you do every day, and also heavier. And then all at once, this person has been very important to many of the things on the path. But right now, it's like you lost sight of each other. And you lost sight of each other's importance. and then you bump into each other, and the goddess says, wake up. There are the things you are doing, but there is a presence you are being. And that presence that you are being is even more essential than what you are doing. Because there's a lot of everyday things that we are required to do. But we live together in a community, so those everyday things are not every day. And there is a new presence there. And sometimes we forget that part of that presence is each other. And then we get in each other's way. And then all at once, we are offended. And the thing is we live together so that we are not in each other's way. And sometimes we forget so much that we bump into each other. And then we become affronted. Whereas the goddess said, hey, look where you are. Look who's around you. Look at their needs. And we have even gotten older in this process, and you think, oh, old people shouldn't be doing this process. But the process relies on us. It's the registry, the long time registry. And sometimes we're so deep in that registry that we forget there's traffic. And then when we bump into traffic, we're like, oh my God. And there's just an offense that happens. And it creates offense. And part of our work is to take down those fences.
It's kind of like, and it happens everywhere. I mean, it happens in the workplace. You can have a team of people working on a project, and each one of them is taking a different aspect of what that whole project is about. And there could be someone that is so focused on their one part that they're doing, which is essential to the whole team and the whole project. But then they could be so caught up in what they're doing that they don't see the other contributions happening at the same time. And then in a, like in a team building kind of way that a lot of corporations have, there can be upsets and hurts because this guy over here who's doing his project is so focused on that he's not paying attention to what this project is and how it works together, because they're so individually focused. And so, but team is about...
So they forget they're there, and then they bump into each other.
So now take it out of the corporate office and now put it on a ball court. So you have someone that's a guard, and someone's a forward, and someone's a center, and they each have their focuses that they do. But they have to be aware of all the other people and where they are so that they can advance up and down the court and score their points.
And that is a very, very important ability. But it's not always easily done.
No.
And it takes many years to learn. It's one thing to be in a family
Excuse me.
where you're a family but not necessarily a team. It's another thing to be in a team that's trying to work like a family but me more aware. And that takes daily engagement. It takes awareness. It takes talking and listening. And still, there is a time when everything gets missed and forgotten. And it's not done intentionally. It's part of the skill rendering that's happening with the energies that we're working on and the energies of the world that we're trying to calm into place.
Using the metaphor of the basketball team, have you ever in your life seen a game where someone passed the ball and the other player missed it and it went out of bounds, or or there's a missed in football, someone where they lateral the football off to another player and they fumble it. Well, the whole game doesn't collapse. They keep playing. They just have to pick themselves up, refocus on what they're doing, and not want that to happen again, because it doesn't make for a very successful season. If that, if you just get caught up in the fumble, and just say, well, that's the end of it. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't have any teams.
Well, and
if that was how
if the team
everything worked.
addresses the fumbler
Yeah.
in a very directive or negative way, sometimes that scares the fumbler back into place, and sometimes it actually negative
Mm-hmm.
has a negative effect upon the game.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is we have to learn how to create a timing, even if we fumble, that we're okay in.
Mm-hmm.
And because in the game, there's always going to be a time that you and everyone else becomes the fumbler.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what our project or job is, we have to have a larger awareness in our world of what we do than other people do. And it's not an easy thing.
Mm-mm.
It's not something, it's something you become better and better at, and you learn,
Mm-hmm.
and you fumble, and you learn again. And
I like doing this back and forth bit of metaphors between sports analogies and boardroom analogies, because the same thing happens. So, say you have, and now we're in baseball, there's a pop-up, and the outfielder misses the catch. Well, especially if they're maybe a younger team, then you hear from the sidelines the coaches clapping their hands, come on, we can do better, come on. And they're very encouraging that, okay, yeah, that was a mistake, but let's just heads up, let's pay attention, let's make sure that we do it better next time.
But if you're the player that desperately doesn't want to become the fumbler, and it's even dangerous to become the fumbler,
Mm-hmm.
you would, what you need to do is stop.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop. Don't live in that fear that you're going to fumble.
Mm-hmm.
That fear that nothing can be in your way. And if you set it up where everybody becomes aware of what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
because see, everybody, like in the garden, has their own thing they're working with. And a lot of times, that whether you're young or older, it's the same thing. You would go deep into it. You're working with it in a different way than most people work with things.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we all have to be conscious in our family of that.
Mm-hmm.
There are times that I'm doing a job, but I'm doing 4 jobs in the one job. And I'm so out about it because it takes the part that's going out of the body and the part that's going in the body and the part that's actually assimilating. All of them are equally important. So sometimes you can't actually do everything the same way because you're doing 10 things instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in that place, you need to sit down with yourself and take in the environment you're in so that you can make things, parts of you, all aware of what is needed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so easy not to happen. And that's part of the practice of us in work is how many places can we be and still be in our body and know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is any kind of soldier,
Mm-hmm.
any kind of
business, any kind of sports
any kind of business,
team.
any kind
As it applies across the
laboratory.
board.
Yeah, it's all across the board. There are people in the laboratory that are so inside the equation that they're not really safe going across the room sometimes. And then, so what you do is you make the laboratory more safe for people that are not fully in that body that they need to calculate everything. And that's something that you not only have to do for yourself, but you have to recognize that others are there and you have to do it with them or for them. And I think this is exactly applies to the world right now.
And that's no
every country trying to be aware of what the ladder the country, other countries are trying to climb.
And this, it goes so big, like countries-wise, and it goes so personal that I know we have all had people in our lives that you've handed them a hot cup of coffee, and you just hand them a hot cup of coffee. That's it. And there are other people in your lives that when you hand them a hot cup of coffee, you say, "This is hot. It's hot. It's hot," because you're making sure.
And you take their hand
because
and
you know
put
they're
their hand around the cup so they can feel it's hot.
You know they're the kind of person that may be very creative or whatever, and you know they're busy with more than just sitting there waiting to be handed a cup of coffee. Their imagination is working equations. Their equations are working them. There's a lot going on. And so if you also are aware, then that's why you would be saying, "Oh, this is hot. This is hot. This is hot."
And there is no job that is more important than the people in the lab.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. And there are other people that you just hand them a cup of coffee because they don't need that because they're doing something.
So you don't take on a
there.
job with a number of people in the same laboratory and forget they exist. Mm-hmm. There is no job you're going to do in that laboratory that you can't become aware of what's happening in the laboratory itself. Because there's no laboratory result that's more important than the people that are in the laboratory. There's no equation that overrides their safety, their feelings, that overrides their ability to recover.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're trying to remember right now in this world.
Now, the world is like a giant laboratory or a giant sports game or a giant business.
There is no country that does not matter.
Yeah.
And there is no country that can act as if a country does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're working together as a team, we cannot at any moment forget that each of us matter more than what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. So for those listening to this process podcast, we know that everyone, all the time, is in the middle of some sort of process. You woke up and you're beginning to process your day and what it is that you already know you're going to do, or what you're thinking about doing,
or how you feel about it,
and what you hope to do. So those are all parts of the process that we all live within.
So when we wake up and we ask to become aware,
mm-hmm.
help me be aware of the needs of myself and my team,
mm-hmm.
or my family,
those around me, my co-workers, or
that you become aware of being aware of yourself and your needs and theirs, mm-hmm. because you're going to be in their environment and they're going to be in yours. And when you are aware of their needs, you can make safe yours.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty good podcast. This is,
mm-hmm.
Like we say, July 1st, rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. So
it's how to wake up.
We're hopping to
in
it.
grace.
We're hopping into the reset of this time.
Wake up in grace
Hmm.
and stay in grace and go to bed in grace.
You know, if we have that big strawberry moon and there was a Mercury retrograde happening and there was a huge astrological alignment shift that happened on the
And
29th,
that was it. That's what I'm talking
then
about.
that is a time when you got strawberries. What do? You get out the shortbread and you get out the whipped cream and you make a very lovely strawberry shortcake.
Dessert.
Yes. So when you get, and what they say is, when you've been given lemons, make lemonade. Throw a little sugar on it. Throw a little sweetness into the chaotic process middle that happens, and watch yourself change, and watch everything around you change because you changed. So we just
got
saw,
all peppered out.
we saw a father and a daughter walk past, each having two dogs that are about the same size, but the father was carrying the one big dog. He's upside down in his arms, just very relaxed.
And the little girl's walking the other dog.
Good morning. So we can
So-
always use a little help.
One dog pooped out.
and got a lift.
And
got
a
got a
lift.
little bit of help. So help yourself, help those around you, and have a wonderful day. And thank you for listening. This is Robert,
And Suzanne.
and we're Clarity, and you've been listening to Clarity's Process Podcast. Until next time.